evening. I'm Mike Fish. We have a slightly different picture to present this evening. So at BigData4Analytics, we are effectively a specialist business in promoting analytics in large enterprise users. We also work with a number of other businesses. My own background is supercomputing software, provided the software for the first decoding of the human genome, had all of the Formula One team as customers. So that informed the establishment of this business, which is effectively a consulting business, but we work with a number of key partners. So we change business outcomes with analytics and AI, and specifically we work in financial services, but also consumer goods, in retail and insurance, actually. And you can see some of the clients that we work with, most recent one being Zurich Insurance. And effectively what we do is start from the kind of business end of, with the senior leadership teams of, what analytics could bring to the business, and then we work back towards the technology. We have the background in technology, but in fact I used to be in the, as I mentioned, in the VC business, but we find that the key point is that there are lots of businesses that could use more of these technologies but don't know how to get started. So our proposition is really what we call management consultancy as opposed to technical consultancy in big data and AI. We provide data science capabilities as well for our clients. And the third element is we actually partner up with innovative technologies which aren't necessarily the most widely distributed ones that bring AI and other things to the benefit of fashion retailers, large consumer goods companies, banks and insurance companies. So those are the kinds of things you can see here that we focus on, and innovation is pretty important. And the other thing I think is, producing a result in a reasonably short time, and most importantly, and nobody wants to see lots of dashboards that people are managers have difficulty actually implementing. What they want to see is translating that stuff directly and ideally automatically into actions. These are some of the companies that we work with, and I think these guys have presented here in the past. Logical Glue, so this is a predictive analytics platform. Just briefly, this is another one, an American company we work with called R4 Technologies. Some of those of you with perhaps slightly longer histories might be aware of Priceline, who pioneered the airline ticketing business in the US. Well, this is the same guys who started this up. So this is AI-powered enterprise analytics combining supply and demand chains. So we're partnered with them, and they have some excellent references. And then this third one here is an interesting business, which we're in the process of working with in the investment management area. And so again, a US company. So those are the types of businesses we work with. And what we do is then provide the wraparound consulting and the kind of hand-holding that enables significant big businesses to do those. So just a little example here of the type of approach we use. So this is the kind of approach that we apply to in our consulting process, and then what we do is bring in the technology products which allow people to create this continuous cycle of improvement, which of course then allows them to get managers out of the loop and into the process of making stuff happen and actually getting the learning stuff working. Now there's one other video briefly I want to show you here, because my background in supercomputing also introduces the notion of simulation, and there's a very brief one I want to show you. I won't show you the whole thing, but I'm getting Eddie to work here today on this. And this is kind of interesting. So this is a product coming out of the Barcelona Supercomputing Center, and it's relevant to insurance. So what these guys is simulate, and you may remember the volcanic ash issue a while back. So these guys are simulating and offering this simulation to manufacturers of aircraft engines, the simulation of how that problem affects the atmosphere and therefore the safe running of aviation engines, and by implication then how that affects the impact on airline scheduling. So a really interesting point. So brief background, so we have an advisory board of people who actually have a lot of experience in the sectors we serve, like retail, like financial services, like insurance. And we work with a number of startups like you guys to help them with getting funding. As I say, I used to be in the investment business, determining the go-to-market, and also then getting those technologies in front of the large enterprises that typically we work with.